Hi, I'm bored, so instead of practicing for my juries like I should be doing, I'm gonna be reorganizing the cage. This is where my school keeps like 85% of all our percussion stuff. There's a lot here, and as you can see, it is very, very messy. Heck, before Professor Turner got here, we had like almost none of this, and it was really, really, really bad apparently. But we have all of this stuff, and it is, oh man, it's messy. So, what else am I to do other than practice the songs that I only know like 2 measures of? That's the 6-minute piece that I have to perform for a grade in order to keep going to this school in 2 weeks. Then organize all of this, because this is where we live basically. Not really, this is where all our instruments live, but we got to get things in and out of this place, and if things aren't where they need to be, then that's an issue, because that's wasted time trying to find something, and we already have some instruments missing, like a couple cymbals over there. So here we go. Call this procrastination part 1. I got my monster in my trail mix. I am ready. Okay, there is a lot of stuff in here, so I'm gonna try categorizing things first, because it's all just kind of one big kind of conglomerate with a kind of walkway right here. So I'm gonna just take everything out, probably, and just categorize it and see how it goes. Also, I just noticed this filing cabinet here is, oh, this is heavy. Oh, that's just clamps and stuff, cool. We got a keyboard pedal and furniture polish. Awesome. CHA reports, ritual books, pledge exams, programs, newsletters. Just junk, I guess. Photo albums, letterhead, and program scrapbook. Oh, that hurts my ears. There's nothing in there. Okay, awesome. That was a cool trip. Music does indeed make me happy. Bandstand, this thing looks ancient. So right now I'm taking cymbals off stands to get stands over there. Got a China cymbal right here, and oh, this poor crash cymbal. Oh, look at all those cracks. This is why you put sleeves on your cymbal stands, please. Sleeves are this black thing right there that kind of just protects the cymbal from the metal of the stand. This stand doesn't have a sleeve, and this is probably the stand that this cymbal went on, because the metal going up against the metal right there, it causes cracks, and then they spread, and then that's how cymbals break. Good cymbals can last a really long time. Hell, there are cymbals from like the 20s, the 1910s that are still perfectly intact. It's all just a matter of how well they're taken care of. If you're playing them with good technique, cymbals can last an eternity. It's literally just a slab of metal. And speaking of cymbals, these are crotales. I wish any school I went to had enough money to afford crotales. So kind of like a glockenspiel and a xylophone, those are all mallet instruments. This is considered a mallet instrument because it has the same range as a glockenspiel. These are all little cymbals that are tuned to specific notes. So I guess it is a mallet instrument, but instead of like bars, it's actual cymbals. And you got a little set right here. They're so cool. Cymbals can get very, very, very expensive if you get the really top of the line ones. Crotales are this much money, this many dollars. That is, I mean, for a bunch of little cymbals, that's pretty okay. But I see some people selling individual crotales for like actual cymbal price, which is why? So if you're in the market for buying individual crotale cymbals for some reason, if they're priced at like $300 to something $100, that is a scam. Please don't waste your money on that. So these are kind of all the stands that I wanted to organize that aren't already in the place that I want to put them in. But these are stands. This is a cymbal stand. It's got a boom arm. That way, instead of the cymbal being right there, you can reach it out that way. This is one just without the boom. Same with this one. This one actually goes to a table that I'll put somewhere. And this one holds the glockenspiel right there. But this guy, this is a bass drum stand, a really crap one at that. Just open it like that, and then you can put your big old bass drum on it. We have an actual bass drum right here that has a really nice stand, but some lunatic named Hazo decided to put 2 separate bass drum parts in a piece, which I mean is really cool effect if you want a really big boom, boom, boom section, which kind of that part is, but you need 2 bass drums. My part literally goes from xylophone to bass drum, which is very interesting, but I mean, that's kind of just the reality of being a percussionist. Sometimes you do really strange stuff like that. And the bass drum I get the pleasure of using. Whoa, what is this? It looks like somebody ordered a new head, but we're like, oh man, the logo's not on it. Let me just grab a sticker and stick it on there. That's gross. This thing is a really, really big bass drum, but if you go over here, what is that? Oh no. It's time to talk about marching bass drums. Marching bass drums are usually pretty small. Like the biggest marching bass drums aren't necessarily too giant. Unless you're this thing. These hooks right here are for a harness to be attached so you can wear this thing. If I had to march this thing, I would rather die. I was talking to Professor Turner about this, and this thing is more than likely from the 70s or even earlier, from that era, back when marching bass drums were really, really big, and this thing is really, really boomy. Ooh! Either all the dampening was taken out of it to kind of turn it into a concert bass drum, or I know like way back in the old days, marching bass drums kind of looked and sounded like that, which is where the modern drum set comes from. It's one person kind of playing all of the marching percussion spots, which makes sense because it's a lot cheaper to hire one percussionist to play everything instead of like 4. But yeah, this thing has definitely seen some better days. Oh my god. So I forgot to mention, this is the space we have to work with. All of this is audio equipment and mic closets, so can't really put anything back there or Dennis will be sad and have nowhere to walk. So this is kind of the cutoff, which is not a lot of room for our stuff. So gotta be smart about this. Oh, it's such a weird mechanism. How this is keeping in place is this nut right here, which is just a little wing nut on a screw, and it goes into this hole like that. Whoa, that is old and manky. Wow, I mean, it works. It's really effective. Like, that drum hasn't fallen off the stand yet. Going back to bass drums and drum kits in general in the olden days, it was really strange. We're playing this one piece that's a march from 1909, and I play cymbals. The part is just labeled drums, snare drum, bass drum, and cymbals. But there's no notated cymbal parts. But I was talking to the professor about it, and turns out, back in those days, the person playing bass drum was also playing cymbals at the same time. They had a really weird attachment, like on the top of the bass drum that had a little cymbal on it, and they would basically have a bass drum mallet in one hand, cymbal in the other, and they would just psh, 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 play them at the same time. It's crazy, which would actually kind of explain why my music says plus cymbals, minus cymbals, and why the bass drum and cymbals are playing the same part. But then when they started having drum kits and one person playing all the parts, they're like, hey, how do we get a snare drum, a kick drum, and cymbals at the same time? They just took the cymbal attachment from the top of the drum and put it where the head of the drum is, like on the hoop. So kick pedals back in the really old days, they had the bass drum beater, but they also had a cymbal striker. There are a lot of kick pedals that had like a switch where you can activate and deactivate the cymbal trigger, and it was the old days were scary. Stands. Oh, I almost missed this guy. This thing is disgusting. This thing is a snare drum stand. You put a snare drum on here, and then you can just... This is what a good snare drum stand looks like. It's got rubber tips, that way you don't damage the side of the drums or the floor. It just tightens, loosens like that, and you can adjust where you want it to lock, so every time you put it down, it stays in this one little place. Ah, it's so nice. And then you get to this janky piece of garbage. Ugh. Ugh. Remo. I'm looking for wing nuts to put on all the stands because it screws on like right here, and you screw it on. That way the cymbal just doesn't like fly off the stand. And I noticed, oh God, that's a lot of stands. This is gonna be a lot harder than I thought it'd be. I'm still working on the stand situation with getting everything where it should be. And you know, I'm gonna move some stuff around. I mean, there's some things that are in a good place, like glockenspiel. I have the stand for it that's next to it, the timpanis and the stool, bass drum, the tam-tam, and this, all a really good place. And I'm just gonna forget about this for now. And of course, there's some things that I probably can't move, like this Nagato Daiko that probably costs more than my value as a human being. Oh, look at that. This is like a whole like rack system. I don't know if it's complete or not. Oh, okay, it's just plastic. Ugh. Oh, that's gross. That's really, really gross. Right front. Dang, I mean, at least this thing is, no. Oh, this one's also labeled. What does this one say? I can't make it out. But I mean, at least they made it easy for us to put it together. Gibraltar power puh. This thing looks ancient. Oh, I'm so glad we got a bit of a cymbal stand donated to us by Miss Liesel Ederberg in Colorado Springs. What? PETA! Oh, never mind. I wanted ancient. I got ancient. Get a load of this Ludwig. Oh, this is so dusty and gross. Why is it a hexagon? This thing is so beefy. Oh, that's gross. I hate touching this. What in the world is this? This also kind of looks like that Ludwig. Top 10 questions science cannot answer. Lord knows what this thing is for. Oh, this thing is junk. Oh, is this a Ludwig? Oh, it's a Pearl. Pearl knows how to make a chunky. Oh, I found the rest of the rack system. I found a contraption. What am I looking at? All right, I got all the stands organized. I got the stands that we are currently using and need right here in this little nook. I have usable stands in this cubby and unusable stands slash just stand parts in here. Also, I put the rack right here because I am not touching whatever is back there. I don't want to deal with that. So next on my hit list, this thing. It looks pretty well organized. There's some things in there I'll just touch. Maybe touch this box. See what kind of treasures are in there. All right, upon further inspection, there are some things. There appears to be a snare drum right there. There's more just random hardware. Okay. There's a floor tom leg right here. I'll just that there. A whole bunch of taiko drumsticks and other stuff right there. Sanitizer. I will need that. We have a couple brake drums here, but we keep some brake drums right there, so I don't know what the deal with that is. We have the flower pots and paint cans. Really old bass drum beaters. Slingerland. This thing is old. We got a log drum. Oh, another brake drum right there. We have some more taiko drums. Oh, this is a really sad set of bongos. Oh, this one too. So just some sad bongos. This is a really sad ocean drum. I don't know what this thing is or the state of that. A thing. And yeah. I only got some bamboo wind chimes. We got a homemade pair of wind chimes. Shout out to Kieran, did a good job making this. I didn't even see that. Thunder sheet. All right, so update. This looks about done. As you can see, I made some really awesome holders for this. This is barely holding onto there. It looks a little tight though, like it's almost stripping, but if you just like loosen it a bit, you can like take it on and off. It's a really good holder for this. and it's made with the screws that are on the actual thing. So it has a common theme. And then this one, I just found this random lug and just hanging it from there. This is definitely secure. And I moved that brake drum right here with the other brake drums. And I was cleaning out this area. I put our second glockenspiel that we don't really use unless we need 2 Glock parts right there. Thunder sheet right there, and I discovered a really big table. Like, we percussionists need a lot of tables. We have this table, we have that table. Most of the time we just use music stands and put like a towel on it. We need lots of tables to put our small instruments on, put our mallets on. We need lots of tables, and this gigantic one right there. And I don't know what stand we would put it on. Like, if we could put it on a stand, if we did, it'd have to be like that one, but that's like for the glockenspiel, so I don't know what we'd put it on, but this thing looks so useful. Why are we not using this? I've come for your treasures. All right, what do we got in here? Oh, there's like rods in here. What is this? Is this like a stand? Oh, this looks like a really crappy music stand. I think that's just what's in here, just music stands and all right, I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna leave this be, leave it where it is. It's not offending anybody. I'll just, I don't know why or how we have this, but there it is. All right, phase 2, that closet. This closet is where we keep our snare drums. We have a concert snare. It's a Pearl Philharmonic, a really nice concert snare. We have a field drum right here, which is kind of a marching snare before the modern marching snare. It sounds kind of like a normal snare drum. It has a kind of sound, really big and beefy. And we have this another snare right there. And we have 2 piccolo snares. This one is really gross, but this one is a Pearl piccolo. Oh, it's really nice. And okay, how did that get in there? This is our really cheap Latin percussion, and I don't know why it's in here. Oh, the shikare. We've been looking for you. If you're wondering about the Skittles on the floor, I didn't do it. I'm gonna be kind of quiet because it sounds like there's like a brass ensemble rehearsing there, but this thing is so cool. I didn't know how to actually play it until I was in percussion tech the other day, and Professor Turner was showing us how to like actually play it. So I thought you just like do that. It was kind of like a really kind of like shaker sound, but no, you actually just kind of like I'm still not doing it right. It's kind of like a rocking motion, but kind of like not really. It's like almost like rocking a baby, but instead of rocking it to sleep, you're jolting it awake. But I didn't know this. Take your hand. There was like a bass tone. I didn't know that. It was blowing my mind. Well, as you can see, it's literally just a gourd. I mean, they make like ones of these that are like made of actual gourds. This one's, you know, synthetic, obviously, but that's so cool. I did not know this. This is where a lot of our stuff went. We were looking for a cabasa, which we thought was missing. Turns out we have like 3 of them. We have like this one and this one. This is a really sad one. Hey, it's a lot lighter tone. It's still usable. Still has a really cool sound. Oh, this is the beef. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. I'm learning stuff as we speak. We have, you know, cabasa with, you know, only a couple rows of beats. Really light, really kind of high pitched, but really soft sound too. And we have a medium one with more beats. It's more lower and quite a bit louder. And then we have the monster. Oh my god, this thing is crazy. This is a Wiro, and you just take a beater and you go. I can't do it because I'm holding my phone. You can only hold it like that. They usually make these out of like actual gourds or something. A lot of these are made out of gourds. Same with like the maracas in there. They're usually made of like gourds, but this one is obviously plastic. I mean, it sounds pretty good. It just doesn't, I don't really like the vibe. It doesn't have that natural vibe. Speaking of Wero, I found the Wero beater. I mean, it's a pretty cheap one that obviously, that obviously didn't come with this Wero, but it's a Wero beater. And you know, before we were playing Dan's Own #2, and we had to use like a drumstick or the back of a mallet, which, you know, isn't exactly good for the mallet if you use that, but we have an actual beater. Yeah, putting all this stuff back in here, looking in here, Wero. Oh, this is a sad broken Wero. Oh, look at that. Who's got, oh, what is this? It's a thing. Oh, I see something back there. Trash. And oh, some plastic maracas. Ugh. Probably not as good as the actual maracas either. Oh, I don't like those. I'm not even gonna touch back here because it's just brake drums and this bungee cords. And wait a minute. There's our man. Oh, it's empty. Never mind. Yeah, we just have all kinds of different kind of sounds in here, like different kinds of maracas. I think I'll just leave all this in here. I mean, it is labeled Latin, this stolen US Postal Service box. So I'll just put all this in there and just put it up right there. All right, I have our guy properly displayed. Hey, there's our man. Boss is right there, everything else in there, and we still have some free space for whatever else we need. Guys, someone help, I'm locked in here. Ah, Michael, don't leave me in here, Michael. All right, now that's done. Now this is done. Now that all the stands are in their proper place, now I'm gonna worry about this cabinet and whatever's going on top of it. Also, how do I keep not noticing this? What in the world is this? What are those? Oh, wait. Are those wind chimes? Are those wind chimes? I'm gonna do a very dangerous thing. Please don't try this at home. Oh, this is wobbly. Oh, this is wobbly and spinning. Ooh. Ah, those are wind chimes. Oh, it's a nice TreeWorks one too. Oh, I can't grab it while I have the phone in my hand. Hold on. Oh, this is a nice one. It's a TreeWorks. I mean, granted, we have this bigger one and probably nicer one, but they're both, they're so nice. I don't know why we would need 2 sets of them. Probably because we lost this one and just bought that one, but oh, this is nice. Such a score. Moving wind chimes around is such a nightmare, though. You have to be perfectly still. If any of the things touch each other, they are very loud. Oh, I'm gonna set this down. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. All right, now it's just categorizing these. These are already in categories. They're not in the right categories, but got, you know, wood blocks, triangles, claves, all that stuff. The sticks and malice and beaters are in there. Wero and vibroslap, well, our Wero doesn't fit in there. I just have this icky one. I don't know where our vibroslap is. You know, tambourine, sleigh bells, that kind of stuff. And then flexitone, cowbells, and then anything else that doesn't really fit in this category. And then we have this whole area. So I'm just gonna do that. If I find anything interesting, I'll be sure to show you. I didn't know what these were when I found them, but turns out these are the crappiest little claves I've ever seen. Oh, isn't that piercing? I mean, it could really cut through an ensemble, but I'm barely tapping it. Oh, that is ear splitting. Ah, the wood blocks. This one's broken because TJ hit it too hard. Sticks, mallets, and beaters. These are where our triangle beaters are. They keep disappearing, hence why we have a whole giant bag with nothing in it. This is what it should look like. How did these disappear? Before Turner just gave us those, we've had to use this. Oh no. Also, these are sticks, mallets, and beaters. Oh god, what is that? Ooh, 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 I don't want to touch it. Oh, what is that? It it looks like somebody threw up and on their mouths and didn't clean it. Ooh, I just want to throw these away. Also, I've been rummaging around, just kind of getting everything in order. I don't know what in the world this thing is for. TSU Pueblo band, so it does have a use. I have no idea what this is for, but I mean, I guess we'll keep it. I got all these on the floor, and I forgot about this guy. This is an African double bell, which is kind of the predecessor to the modern day agogo bell. I can't really hit it, I'm so sorry, but you just bell right here, bing, bing, bong, bing, 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 bong, bong, you know, agogo bells. I love flexitones. These I'll probably put with that. I don't know what this is for. Metal pieces parts. Ah, our fine collection of gongs. I love these so much. They look so cool. We have two sizes of this. This is just a normal gong. So it has a big bulge in the center. You're supposed to hit it on the bulge. And it rings like that. See, because I'm pretty sure it's different just because it's not as big as some gongs are, but this is a gong because you can definitely hear a pitch. That's a C. Let's see, let's take a look at this one. Oh, this one got wet. Oh, and it rusted. Let's take a look at this one. Ooh, it might be the rust on there that's making it be like two different dissonant pitches. It still sounds cool. It sounds really cool. These are just two really small China cymbals that you just... We had a piece in percussion ensemble this semester where one of us had these cymbals and just hit them together and just kind of did that. It was so cool. And I love this thing. This thing is so funny. This is what's called a gliss gong. And you can hear because it sounds like this. Ooh. It's so cool. It sounds so silly. It's so silly. I love it so much. Ah, and now my favorite part, the cymbals. We have so many cymbals here. There are some really strange ones, like this one, a Sabian SBR band. How wonderfully specific. And then, whoa, take a look at this warbly mess. If you can see here in that tiny print, this is an Allegian. Now, what the heck is an Allegian, you might ask? Well, these are actual Zildjians. Back in the day when Zildjian kind of messed up in the factory process when they were making cymbals, they didn't just throw them away, they just put a different stamp on it and sold it as like a budget cymbal. Some of these are really messed up, like this one, and others are actually pretty decent. So these are just old-timey Zildjians with some factory defects. In my opinion, it was a really good way to get an almost professional cymbal for budget money. I really want to hear this thing. I'm grabbing a stand. Problem. It doesn't fit on the stand. I'll just use this one for a second and hope it doesn't really mess up the hole right there. And keep in mind, you will get the sound of the metal hitting the cymbal. So, I mean, I'm not saying keep your expectations high, but yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Aside from the obvious factory defects, it sounds really freaking good. It's a really trashy splash cymbal, but it has just the right amount of trash where it doesn't sound like a china. It's like a splash cymbal with just a tiny little bit of vinegar in it, and boy, this thing is floppy. I feel it bending in my hands. This thing is unironically a really good splash cymbal. What the heck? Honestly, kind of just proves what I was saying about Allegian and Zildjian putting out their factory defected cymbals for budget money. It's really good. So we have some sheet metal here that's kind of connected by a rope, and I don't know what in the world this is, but it looks cool as heck. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool, dude. Oh, look, more metal for the metal collection. Oh, and a penny too. Oh, is there one back here? All right, everything's so nice and neat. We got trash metal and this cool thing right there, gongs right here, and then this little China symbol's probably just right here. I mean, at least that's my 2 cents. Or 3. At least that's my 3 cents. We got some cool symbols, and unfortunately some not so cool symbols. Like this Zildjian scimitar ride. Zildjian scimitars, oh, tongue twister, were beginner symbols back in like the 80s and 90s. This thing looks vile. Definitely has an unlathed, almost raw look to it. Oh, it feels a little warbly. That might just be the hammering, but ooh. Oh my god. That is... Oh. Oh my god. I mean, the sound of the stick on the cymbal sounds pretty good enough. Oh, it has that really nasty overtone once you start playing harder. But as soon as you try to crash it, it almost sounds exactly the same, and it's bad. How does the bell sound? Oh, and we have a really sad China cymbal here. Oh, look at those cracks. Oh, that's sad. Wuhan brand China cymbals sound really, really trashy for budget money, but they do tend to crack more often. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just the way they're made, or I don't know. They do tend to crack a bit easier than the other brands. But man, did they got that trashy sound. Oh. Yeah, never mind. As soon as it gets cracked like that, it just sucks the life out of them. This one, on the other hand, is not cracked, and is slightly bigger. Let's take a listen. Extraordinarily trashy, but still has a lot of nice wash and tone. Like, a lot of people would really like this, myself included. I have one of these. I think it's the exact same size too. They're really nice. I love them. And at a budget, super, super good. Oh, we got these AAX 100, 700 hi-hats. USC Music. That's what it was called before it was called CSU Pueblo. When my professor was saying that before he came we had barely anything, this is the kind of stuff we had. This thing is icky, icky, icky. I just realized, why do these SBR bands have a thing right there? Is it to protect it from keyholing the cymbal? Is it to protect it from damaging when you don't have it on an actually nice stand with a sleeve? I don't know why. And almost nobody does this. This is very weird. Oh, we also got these really nasty Zildjian FX stacks. These are rusted to all hell. You know in marching band when you have the snare drum players and they have like that little hi-hat on their rig? That's what this is. This is basically just an expensive way of taking broken cymbals, stacking them on each other, and making kind of like a clap slash hi-hat sound. This is the expensive way to do it. Zildjian, why did you actually make these? Just break and damage and destroy your own cymbals. These ones we use for marching bands, so I'll put them right there. We got splash cymbals. Got the Allegiant right there. I love this thing so much now. So basically, I have all the cymbals put away, and here I have the ride cymbal and all of our orchestral / marching crash cymbals that we don't use. Those are the marching crash cymbals that we do use, but there's some extras in here. In here, I put the smaller cymbals. I have the hi-hats and the really sad China and crash cymbals if we have any extra crash cymbals. And up here, I'm gonna put the cymbals that we are currently using and need. In 3, 2, 1. Nice. One of our suspended cymbals is just missing. It's the exact same one as this one. Sabian hand-hammered HH suspended cymbal, but instead of a 20-inch, it's a 19-inch. And instead of looking really nasty, it's shiny. We do need 2 of them for the set we're playing for Wind Ensemble, but I've been using this hand-hammered thin crash. It does its job. The only reason we need a second one is because I play snare drum, and I also have like cymbal hits with like a drumstick, which Why is it not just written as a crash symbol? But hey, I don't care. I'm not the one who wrote the piece. All right. Metal for the metal lord. Oh, more metal. Metal for the metal lord. Metal. Take my offerings, metal lord. Oh, there's even more metal. Another metal. If anybody asks, I was not the one who left shoe prints on the timpani stool. All of the mismatched and kind of broken sticks and stuff, I just threw with the metal lord. Like, oh, this poor castanet. There's supposed to be another one right there. In fact, it's this one that's supposed to be right there. I think you just have to retie it, but we'll deal with that later. And just random castanet. But I don't know where this goes, but there you go. It can probably be fixed. The perfect spot for these unused symbols. Mostly because they wouldn't fit right there. And here we are. Here's our mostly organized thing. We got the crotales in the back. We got tables right there. Timpani corner. Got big boy area. We got this very nice and neat tabletop that I have not seen this clean for a while. Got the snare drum closet. Got our toms. Oh, stand corner right there. Get your stands here. Then, oh, Latin percussion drums. We got the timbales. We got bongo row. We got the congas. Actually, fun fact, most people play congas in groups of 2, but traditionally they're actually played in groups of 3. You got the quinto, the conga, and the dumba, which I'm pretty sure I said those in the wrong order. I'm not sure this is an actual dumba, but it's really gross, and it's 3, but most people play them in groups of 2, which is fine, but yeah, it's the more you know. And hold on. Alright, we got Temple Block Town, including the silly little cowbell neighbors, and we got our crash cymbals, and the wind chimes of truth. I think that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. It looks a lot better. It is so much neater in here. There's so much room. It's also organized. It's, oh, wow. I'm very proud of myself, and I hope it stays this way, which it probably won't. But yeah, that's my little adventure of the cage. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be back exploring even more of the really strange things here. I haven't even touched the surface. It was very nice seeing y'all again. Bye-bye.